Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank you for joining our Ask Me Anything session for today. We'll go ahead and give everyone just a couple of minutes to dial in. We do have some folks that are still working on that, and then we will be back. We are just a couple of minutes past, so we'll go ahead and get started. Again, thank you everyone for joining our Ask Me Anything session for today. I am joined by a few of my colleagues. We have on the line Brandon Peterson. He's also an account manager with SwipeLock ApplicantStack. And we have Ellen Benzine as well. And Ellen will be helping me today with questions after our PowerPoint presentation. Our agenda for today, we'd like to talk about ApplicantStack and Indeed working together to help you hire. So we have quite a few items with their functionality with our partner Indeed. So we'd like to go ahead and talk about why you might be interested in using Indeed's functionality and features. We'll be talking about sponsoring your jobs for increased visibility with Indeed and Indeed's recruiter extension, which is a little bit newer to us, but we wanted to go ahead and share that with you. As far as further content for you, our team will be placing some links in the chat, and I think I see that popping up right now. We do have a quick video, I believe it's a little over 4 minutes, about that Indeed recruiter extension that is available to you. So we would encourage you to go ahead and watch that. It's a really good overview of that functionality. And then we'll go open up the floor to questions. Those questions can be anything ApplicantStack. They don't have to be related to Indeed specifically, and we will do our best to answer those questions for you. To start, why would you want to use Indeed? Indeed is the #1 job site in the world with over 350 million plus unique visitors every month. And just in working with our customers, I'd say our users report that most of their candidates are coming from Indeed. That is one of the better sources for candidates for you. We offer support on both sides. So ApplicantStack and Indeed will help you if you ever have a question or you're running into some questions about your job postings and so forth. We will certainly help on our end if we're able to. And some things need to go directly to Indeed, but you will have both resources available to you. Integrations with ApplicantStack are more robust than with some of the other applicant tracking systems out there. Those include Indeed Apply Sync. You can apply with your Indeed profile if your candidate has one. Jobs with Indeed Apply receive 13% more clicks than jobs without and up to 4 times more applicants. And we've just got a quick visual for you here of how that might appear. We also have Disposition Sync, which will provide a responsive employer badge. So on your job in the Indeed search results, we've got a quick visual here for you of what that will look like. That will be tied to the disposition signals. So for example, if you update the status of 50% plus of your Indeed applications within the last 30 days in ApplicantStack, that badge will apply. And that's going to let your job seekers know that you're highly engaged and committed to responding to job seekers. It's also going to help drive more candidates your way. So if they see that badge, they're going to know they're more likely to get a response from you. I just know from playing around on the internet, a lot of candidates, they will interview multiple times, they'll apply for jobs, complete assessments, writing samples, you name it. They put a lot of time and effort into applying for jobs, and then a lot of candidates just never hear back. So knowing that that employer is responsive is going to help set you apart and hopefully drive more candidates your way. We also have Indeed sponsored jobs that will help you set yourself apart with those postings. Organic jobs will lose visibility over time, so as the posting is out there longer and longer, it's going to drop. In those search results, it's going to be maybe 5, 6, 7 pages back versus ones that have just been posted that are quite new right up at the top. Sponsored jobs will give your job maximum visibility with relevant job seekers and will provide more quality applicants compared to that free organic listing. Your posting will appear in more prominent positions, which leads to increased job seeker interest. And according to Indeed, sponsored jobs have 2.3 times more applicants and 4.5 times more likely to result in hire from those applicants. Indeed sponsored jobs will also offer predictive budgeting tools. So when you post a job in ApplicantStack, this little graphic here, it will show you how many candidates for your budget could be anticipated. You'll be charged, or that budget will be used when the candidate starts an application versus just clicking on that job posting. So this is going to help you focus your budget on where it counts the most. So higher intent, more engaged applicants. You can log into your Indeed account for real-time analytics and reporting, and that's going to help you optimize your campaigns. Any job already posted to Indeed's organic feed can become a sponsored job, but you will need an Indeed account in order to use that. If you don't have an account, you can create one when launching your sponsored job, and you and your team can have multiple logins to take full advantage of Indeed's benefits. We talked about the Indeed Recruiter extension. That's, again, a little bit newer. That is a free browser extension that is available. Again, an Indeed account will be needed for that. And I think coming in the chat will be a quick link with how to access or get that extension set up. And that will provide you with access to Indeed's products without leaving ApplicantStack. So for example, messages and notifications regarding candidates, job information. You'll be able to do a resume search from within the system. You'll also see some market analytics, including salary information. So when you go to post your job, it's going to give you a little bit of information about the market and what would be supported there, so you can adjust accordingly. You can also see if your jobs are visible on Indeed without leaving ApplicantStack. And if there are any posting violations, that will be more transparent to you, maybe why your job isn't being picked up by Indeed. Okay, so again, the link to get that extension is coming or is available in the chat. We do want to mention we have some further upcoming events. We have another Ask Me Anything webinar on May 30th regarding integration overview. And then we have an onboard webinar on May 14th, and we'll be talking about issues with rehiring. Okay, we do have some QR codes there available for you to register. Those are also available in the upper left corner of your ApplicantStack screen. We do have an events section there where you can register for those. And we would look forward to seeing you. With that, we'll go ahead and open up the floor to questions. Again, we do have Ellen is going to be helping with those today. So please feel free to go ahead and enter those questions in the questions panel of your GoToWebinar portion of your screen, and we'll do the best to answer those for you. They can be anything ApplicantStack, Recruit, Onboard, it's up to you.
Hey, Carol, great job. This is Ellen. We have one question so far, and I don't fully understand the question, but it's asking if we need it, if a customer, an ApplicantStack customer needs an Indeed account, and then I don't understand the rest of the question. So if you can clarify this question, that would be excellent. But I'm thinking, when do you need an Indeed account in order to launch jobs from ApplicantStack to Indeed, Carol, or take advantage of some of those functions like the recruiter extension that you were just discussing?
Right, okay. So to launch to Indeed's free organic feed, on your Jobs Launch tab, let me just come into my demo account here. Okay, and here's a quick pop-up. So about Indeed sponsors. So feel free to read through that when you've got a moment. But you can go ahead and post to Indeed Organic. You'll just click on Post Job. If you want to sponsor, you will need an account in order to sponsor, and you can either set that up as you're sponsoring that job, but that will allow you to do that. And then you also need an account to have that recruiter extension that we chatted about. Okay,
excellent. Yeah, I think that answered the first question, Carol, but I also interrupted you. What else were you going to say?
Oh, no, I think that covers the question that we had. If not, feel free to clarify or provide a little bit more information.
Excellent. And you know, one of the things I want to point out, it's on your screen now, you'll see that we have links to Indeed support form. So as Carol mentioned previously, with our partnership with Indeed, both ApplicantStack and Indeed provide support. So if you ever need support from Indeed, you can do it directly from ApplicantStack. Just a little means of efficiency there for you. Next question, Carol, is how does the texting feature work? And what are the differences between the two texting features, basic versus premium?
Okay, we will walk through as much of that as is possible, but let's go to our candidate view. We have basic texting and we have premium texting. So with basic texting, you will see a cell phone icon here if the candidate has a cell phone affiliated with their application. So we can simply click on send a text message. We can either have a template or we can just type that in. We can include a questionnaire and we can send that. You can text multiple candidates at the same time. And there is an additional cost affiliated with that. If you're interested, please let your account manager know. We're happy to help with that. But that would be basic texting. Premium texting offers everything that basic texting does. The additional functionality with premium texting would be text to apply and texting upon a stage change. So you can automate a text message with a stage change. So when you change a candidate perhaps from new to phone interview. And let's go ahead and go back to that launch screen. And with premium texting, you would set up a text code word. So for accounting manager, perhaps it's account. And then you would instruct your candidate perhaps with a sign or sandwich board, something of that nature. Please text this code word to this number. And that will provide them a link for them to apply to the job. Okay, so basic texting, premium texting. Premium texting has everything that basic texting does in addition to text to apply and triggering on a stage change.
Excellent, Carol. One of the things that texting always reminds me of is communication. Obviously, we all text to communicate, but in a tight labor market, you want to get to those candidates, those quality candidates quickly, and candidates, or really anybody, will respond to a text 90% faster than an email. So you can communicate from ApplicantStack either via email or text, but texting does allow that quicker response. And again, if you're scheduling a phone screen or you're scheduling an interview, You do want to get to those candidates quickly. And as Carol mentioned earlier, there are high percentages of candidates that never receive a response when applying for a job. And through texting, especially at a stage change, you can ensure that all candidates, regardless of those who are qualified or not qualified, get a text and know whether or not they're being considered or whether or not they're not being considered. And those who are not considered, you do want to follow up with, because they could be a candidate for a future job opportunity. Just my 2 cents on texting, Carol.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ellen, for adding that.
Sure. All right, next question. I'm not sure who our account manager is, but would love to sign up for the text option. Okay, Kelly, I'm just going to go ahead and take this one, Carol.
Okay.
Kelly, the best thing to do would be to submit a technical support ticket, and it will be routed to your account manager. And Carol, you want to show where the white question mark and the orange square is to submit a ticket?
Sure thing. Up in the upper right, via Ask a Question. That will open up our support form. So we'll prompt you for name, email, confirm your email just to make sure that we have it correct. And then you'll enter your company name or domain, provide as much detail as you can, and we'll be sure to get back in touch with you.
And the other thing, Carol, do you mind showing that texting registration process as well?
Sure.
Which, if it's not through the pop-up, I believe you can go to settings. Yeah.
So, or is it under billing?
You know what's probably going on is your demo account
is not tied to it, correct?
Yeah. But what I was asking Carol to explain is the texting registration process too, Kelly. And I'll keep going, Carol, if that's all right with you. You do need to go through a registration process because carriers such as AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile are requiring a registration process to ensure that your organization is a valid company. There's a lot of spam and trash going across the networks, and those organizations, the carriers, are trying to decrease that by ensuring that companies are valid. So do know that you do have to go through a registration process, and you can trigger that registration process by the pop-up that Carol and I were just talking about. When you access your ApplicantStack account, you should see a pop-up, and it will walk you through that registration process. So just to make you aware of that, once the registration process, or your company, I should say, has been evaluated, you'll get an email from our texting partner, Twilio, saying whether or not you have been approved, and if you have not been approved, what you need to do to rectify the situation. All right, Kelly, what we're going to do is, yes. So Kelly's got some questions about the registration process and some error messages she's receiving. Kelly, we'll make sure that your account rep gets in touch with you. If you could just put in the question box what account you're with, that would help as well. But we'll make sure you get texting for sure. All right. Kelly's appreciative of our time today, Carol. That's always good to hear.
Yes, always happy to help.
Uh-huh. And I do not see any other questions coming in. I'm looking at my screen like they're magically going to appear. But this might be a good opportunity to discuss the announcements panel too, Carol, and upcoming webinars. I know you did with the slide deck, but how you could register via the announcement panel as well, and Allie's blog.
Sure thing. Yep, so in the upper left, as we had mentioned, we have an announcements section. So you can click here for details and registration for our webinars. I'll just prompt you for a little bit of information. You'll get an invitation to join As you can see, we have our onboard webinar on May 14th. We've got our Ask Me Anything on May 30th. And then we have our most recent news and updates on our blog. As Ellen had mentioned, that's a great resource. I pull information from there about hiring in general, applicant tracking systems, onboard, etc.
Excellent. And Carol, I don't see any other questions coming through. So this could be a very quick Ask Me Anything hour this afternoon. Might be 20 minutes, but sometimes these sessions run up to an hour.
That is true.
I know. So again, we do have one more coming in, and it is the cost for texting. So you want to go ahead and talk about basic texting fee and premium texting, Carol?
Sure. The best thing to do would be get in touch with your account manager, and they'll be happy to share those costs with you. Premium texting, since it does have a little bit more functionality, costs a little bit more, but we'll be happy to share those with you.
All right. And again, I think that's it for our questions today. Carol?
Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining. Again, we look forward to seeing you in the future. Don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions that we can help with. And we'll be sure to get back in touch on those remaining questions that we had just to close those loops up. But thank you everyone for joining today.
Thanks, Carol.
All right, take care everyone.
Bye.